like to call the regular board meeting of the Taylor School Board for April 22nd, 2026 to order at 6 p.m. Mr. Morris is excused. Ms. Schufelt?
Here.
Westfall? Here. Block?
Here.
Fields? Here. Morris here. Mordarski?
Here.
Okay, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Revisions and approval of the agenda.
Yeah, I do have a concern with the agenda. It's action item number 1. It says any cost exceeding the 11 million to be funded from the general fund. I don't think we can appropriate funds with no dollar amount. There cannot be a budget of infinity on a construction project. I do believe that, this is not even allowed under state rules because it could create a budget deficit.
Yeah, Mr. Medarski, when we got to that in the action items, I was going to recommend that a board member should amend that item to include $884,000 as the limited amount. So yes, we were going to address that at the time.
Yep, okay, do we have language for that adjustment? It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the Taylor High School athletic improvement final letter of recommendation with any costs exceeding the the originally approved 11 million. And then I guess, how are we going to word that? Put it in there?
I would say add a sentence at the end that says the additional amount is not to exceed $884,000.
Perfect, so we'll keep it the same and then just add the additional amount shall not exceed $884,000. That would be my motion.
Well, that's what I mean. We have to revise it now or revise it then, but we have to revise it at some
You could
point.
revise it as when you approve the agenda here, so it would be making a motion for
Yeah,
to
I
revise.
just,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted that to be.
So my motion is to revise the agenda to add the dollar amount, $888,000.
884, I believe, is the number. So yeah, just a sentence after,
In the future, we should wait till I ask for those revisions though, correct?
No, not if you're approving the agenda. You can't approve an agenda with a bad item. You can't do that.
Okay, I would say, are there any revisions or approvals for the agenda for the motion? And then at that point, you would say, I have a revision. And you would say, you didn't even give me that opportunity to say that.
I believe that's what was said, but okay.
okay, so we have a motion on the table by,
So we have a motion by Ms. Moore. Is
support.
that correct? And a second support by Ms. Fields to revise action item number 1, not to go above, what was it?
Not to exceed the final amount, not to exceed 884,000. That sound okay?
Yep.
Okay.
For the additional amount.
The additional amount shall not exceed 884,000. And again, I hope we don't hit that, but
Okay. Okay, Ms. Schufelt is a yes. Mr. Westfall?
Yes.
Ms. Block?
Yes.
Ms. Fields?
yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Medarski?
Yes.
Mr. Morse is excused. That passes 6-0.
Okay, we have discussion items. The Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals, the Pathway to Leadership Program fees. Ms. Vespremi.
Good evening. I believe last time I was here, I talked about some of our grant initiatives. So I'm seeking approval from the Board of Education for this initiative in the amount of $39,125 paid for out of Title II. This will allow 5 of our TFT members to participate in the Pathway to Leadership program through the MASSP. It's a 240-hour leadership program that will allow us to help grow our own within the district. We had several applicants put in a personal narrative, letters of recommendation, and then we also conducted interviews with our TFT panel along with central office and building level leadership. and we landed on 5 very viable candidates that we would like to move forward. So we're looking for the board to approve the amount in order to do so, and again, that is a grant-funded initiative. Do you want to speak to that at all?
Oh, you sound.
Oh, okay. Ms. Graham was on the panel, so I was just getting her.
Any questions from the board, comments? Good program, glad you found the grant for it,
Yeah,
so thank you.
I think I'm next.
Anyone? Okay, thank you. Now we'll move on to the Teach ESL endorsement program.
Yes, another one of our grant initiatives that I spoke on the last time I was here was to increase our capacity for English language services within our district. I also put in the packet some of the requirements by the state that we have to meet a certain number of minutes. So this would help our students meet our integrated minutes. So that means the teacher would help provide instruction in both their core content area as well as English language services for our students that are not newcomers, but a little bit more along on their proficiency journey in the district. So this program would allow 10 of our teachers to do that. Again, working with TFT, we went through the applicants and made sure they met the program requirements. So we are looking to fund 10 teachers to go through this program in the amount of $46,050.
Any questions from the board?
I do want to just clarify that when we look at our demographics, this is one of our fastest growing populations within our school district. So it is something that we do need to be working to support and find more staff to be able to support here. It is definitely one of our fastest growing areas.
Yep, and expect that to continue as, you
Yep.
know,
Right, we currently have
north.
well
or
over
south.
300 students that are ESL eligible. And if you look at, the state gives you a calculator, and we should have 9 FTE staff, and right now we're at 8. So this will help, again, increase that capacity.
More good work, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we have the ceiling bid. Is Jack here? Thanks, Jack.
Good evening, everyone. We put out a bid to replace the ceiling and lighting at West Middle School and hallways. We received one bid from Professional Contracting and Consulting for $151,900. The project's going to start June 11th, and they expect the completion date to be done August 5th. So this is going to replace all the hallway ceilings and the lighting. We're putting in new LED lighting.
Upstairs
A lot
and
of time
down.
coming, thank
There's
you.
yeah. Hallways this summer. We'll work on classrooms next summer.
Yeah.
Hallways this summer.
That's fabulous, thank you. It's a long time coming. Thank you, Jack, for putting that in motion and getting it done.
No problem.
Thank you. Be
Any
much
questions?
nicer. I say that there's gum on the ceiling from 1952 or
Oh, I'll
whenever,
bet there are. Yep.
yeah, whenever the building was built.
Bet there are.
Yeah, I guess my,
For many years.
no, my question is, because I noticed this in the athletic field too, we sometimes only had one qualified bidder bid. But what's in this RFQ that only one person in the whole state of Michigan qualified to bid? It's like,
I'm sorry.
why is only one person qualified to bid on this? I mean, what was put in?
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't think it was a matter of whether it was qualified. I think it's nobody else bid on it.
This was
just
put
one
out to
company.
to every contractor.
How do we advertise these bids?
It's in the newspaper for 2 weeks and it goes into Sigma, the district, the website that district
State,
uses.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Can I get a copy of the RFQ for that? Because I want to know what the qualifications were.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, now we have, is John on,
Number 9. What?
John Rosh is going to join us via Zoom to talk about the digital age technologies.
He probably wasn't ready for us to move so quickly through the agenda already.
I would agree, yeah.
And we wait for no one.
Good afternoon, everybody. I assume that you can hear me right now?
Yes.
All right, thanks. So I have in front of you a proposal for a replacement PA over at Moody Elementary School. It's for approximately $72,000 and some change. That proposal is to rip and replace the current system that was there. I would say about a month or two ago, we had the current PA go out. We had a company come out, and they were actually the company that installed it back in 1998. They came out and said that there was nothing that they could do with the system and were unwilling to work with us on anything. So we brought in the company that has been doing the PA replacements around our district over the past couple of years now. And they lent us a spare system that we could use. Right now, that's just an all call. So there's nothing else we can do other than call all rooms in the building. And currently, there's no outdoor speakers or hallway speakers either. So it's just calling a system to call all classrooms, essentially. The proposal that you have in front of you is a full rip and replace. That'll replace all speakers, wiring, and the head end. And we'll remove anything from the front office so that they have more space up there as well. The proposal also includes the same systems that we had put at Kenyon and Randall. And as a comparison, Randall, Moody, and Johnson, I believe were the three that the last replacements were all back in 1998 with identical systems. Johnson would be the last replacement, and we are not proposing to do that this year. It just so happens that Moody's system completely died on them about a month or two ago. That about covers it. If you have any questions, let me know. I apologize for not being there. I'm coaching baseball right now.
Any questions from the board for John? Okay, thank you. John,
All right, thank you,
appreciate it.
Kathy.
Okay, public comment. Is there anyone wishing to address the board with regard to the agenda items only? Okay, just give me 1 minute and I'll begin reading. Welcome to the Taylor School District regularly scheduled board meeting of April 22nd, 2026. Our mission statement is to educate it with purpose, engage with passion, empower the future, and our vision statement is that we will create a welcoming and innovative learning environment that nurtures the whole child, empowering every student to thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. Thank you for being here this evening. We value your participation and appreciate the opportunity to hear from our community. Public comment will begin with those attending in person, followed by our online participants. In-person speakers should come to the microphone, state their name and address. Online speakers should use the raise hand feature to be recognized or the QR code. Please be respectful, avoid personal attacks, and limit comments to 3 minutes so everyone has an opportunity to speak. We will provide and assist with timekeeping so each guest will be able to monitor their own time and know when to conclude, so all who wish to speak will have an equal opportunity to do so. If questions arise, Superintendent Wager or his designee will work to provide answers in a timely manner. Please note that comments made by individual board members do not necessarily reflect the position of the Board of Education. The portion of the public comment is limited to agenda items only. There will be another opportunity later for general public comment. This meeting is held in accordance with the Michigan Open Meetings Act and is being video recorded. Thank you.
I think I forgot my question. No, just kidding. I just wanted to hear you read all that.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if John's still online or not, but I heard him say Randall and Johnson and Moody, those are the last that will have the systems done. Everybody else has got new PA systems. That was my question. I was just curious.
Does anybody have the answer to that?
I'd have to just double check to make sure.
Okay, I was just curious. I know he mentioned those three, sounded like that they were, almost done with that. Does that mean all of them are done? I know I subbed at Moody and they have the old speakers still in the library, so.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
curious.
but
I was just
and
curious.
They have some bad ones too, and I
Yeah.
believe that those are all fixed too, but I couldn't answer that question.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. Anyone else in person wishing to address the board?
Courtney Prout, 9846 Catherine. I just had a quick question based on like the whole like thing in the beginning with the extra money for the athletic facility. Can you guys explain that a little bit more? Because I just want to make sure like I was understanding that because it was like more money on top of the other money. I was trying to figure out that because I was just a little bit concerned, I guess, like is the same person managing the money that mismanaged it
There was-
before, and now we're gonna give
Yeah.
them more money to do that
Yeah,
again?
this was
potentially?
discussed and did a question and answer at our last board meeting. Mike, did you want to,
I'd say it's probably easier if I talk to you as soon as I get a chance, but I will gladly answer those questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I was just trying to figure it out, because like, kind of like a conversation, and it's not on like here to kind of see.
Yep.
And then it goes into the action items for like the
That's
next.
kind of why, like, we said it, structured it, we had the discussion at the committee of the whole, because that's kind of the idea, and then that gives the board the 2 weeks to consider and come back and make a judgment from there. But I can summarize what was talked about at that last meeting. I don't mind doing that.
Okay, all right,
I
thank you.
guess my only concern, Courtney, is we did have the committee of the wholes, we got a bid proposal packet, and I thought we were going to have more discussion on it. I don't think this is ready to be voted on yet, because, yeah, there's a lot of questions about the bidding that now we have no one to ask, because I thought they were coming back for this meeting. So that's why I'm voting no on it, because, yeah, the process should have been spread out over a couple more meetings, because remember, the most, just if I may, the most important information dated back to September of last year. Why it was held from us, I don't know. But we got it about a week ago, and that was good. But now we have no one to question about it. So no, I have serious questions about the money, as people should.
and prior to the last board meeting, that's the reason we pushed Saxy off for another 2 weeks, is so that board members had an opportunity to look through the material and ask those questions. Both
Well,
of
who do I ask the
gentlemen-
questions to? They're not here. Okay.
Both of those gentlemen, I made sure that they were going to be here last week to answer questions from the board, and they were ready to answer any question that you had, and now they're not here this week to answer questions, so we're going to bring it up again. That should have been taken care of last week when they were here.
Ma'am, that's not possible. The questions I have are on documents I got after the meeting.
Okay, so.
These were documents after the meeting that should have been provided prior to the meeting. So because the documents weren't given, the questions could not be asked.
Okay, your request then at this point, Mr. Mordarski, is that you would like to see Saxy here again and Barton Mallow here again to answer quite more questions. Is that what your request?
Based on the new data, yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wager?
One that seems to have an issue with the bidding process is you.
Well, you're the one who missed a $2 million shortfall, so maybe you're not looking at the stuff.
One that what?
There was a $2 million shortfall. You reviewed it. You said you did as treasurer. You said your finance committee reviewed it. How did you miss a $2 million addition error in a simple column?
Look over what the budget process is for the bond. We do the general fund, we do the grants, but not the bond.
This was a simple project that went to your committee.
Come to the committee and handle it like we did Grand Rapids.
Kathy?
Never been, well, Grand Rapids, what are you talking about?
So just quickly, my question was kind of surrounding that whole thing. That's what
I'll
I was
gladly,
asking
yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
and I think my biggest concern was that like, yes, I do agree that if the money was mismanaged and the board isn't well looking over that money, like how are we, I just struggle with like
The
giving more
mismanaged
money.
money, though, that I think you're talking about is from a different administration. That mismanaged money is
No,
not
no,
based
that's
on
not it. Like last week, there were some
It was an
people that were
accounting
here
error.
that were kind of speaking back and forth, and he said that he missed the number on his spreadsheet and he didn't like add it all together.
Saxy.
Yeah, so my concern is that we're giving.
Us was from them. It wasn't our error. It
No,
was their mistake.
mistake. They messed up.
Right, which is
They've
where-
owned it. So what do you do, I guess, at this point?
No, I
We're
know, and that's
hoping
what I'm
that-
saying. My concern is that we're now going to open up more of our general fund money to these people who mismanage the money, and it's not being checked on the back end.
Not how it works.
That is how it's working.
No, it's
That's what we
not.
just said.
We don't just open up our general fund.
Right, which is why I asked for clarification on what that whole thing was about.
Because
I'm trying to
here's the
figure that
thing,
part out.
we have a specific amount of bond money.
Correct,
And
I know
if
that.
they go over budget for something, I wasn't happy about it either, and
None of
Mike
us
knows
were.
that,
None of
nobody
us were
was.
happy.
However, there was no way in heck I wanted to see any more bond money used for athletics or anything else. That's for that
Exactly
high
right.
school. So my conversation with Mike was, the way I would vote for it and the way I would make motion for it is if they go over budget, then that's coming out of the general fund, not any more out of that bond money.
Right, but doesn't it scare you as a Board of Education that we're allowing the same person who mismanaged money in the first place to continue to potentially mismanage our general fund money now? That was my bring up, is like, how are we going to ensure that that's not going to happen again?
They're doing just as athletic bunch. They're not involved in
The
anything else.
mismanaged money was by the company, it wasn't by the
It was a
district.
clerical error. Some of the
Correct, not by
information put
us,
up there.
not by our
Excel
district,
spreadsheet
though.
correctly.
Correct, and that's what I'm
Correct.
saying, but the same people are still running the project.
What she's
They're
trying
still
to,
able to mismanage the general fund money now.
what she's trying to say is
I
what new
understand what you're
safeguards, what
trying
new
to say.
safeguards are
I understand what she's
to keep
trying
them
to
from
say.
going over. I have
I
the
don't
floor.
need an interpreter, Mr. Medarski.
But I'm talking. You can listen while I talk. There are no new safeguards in place. The exact same failed safeguards remain.
Let's maintain some decorum here. One person at a time, and it's good to have these conversations, but it needs to be one person at a time, and respectfully.
Fair enough. Let her go.
Yeah, and it's important to note too, that knowing that we have a satisfaction guarantee with SACSI, and so at the end, if we're not happy, we're hoping that it doesn't come to fruition and that we need that money. We're hoping that we have contingencies on there, and so we're hoping that that money never needs to be spent, and it doesn't, and we don't need to do anything else. It is concerning, you're right, when you have somebody do it. We're in the midst of a project though, and so far, with the exception of this error, they've been really great to work with, and all of the other things that go along with a decent company, that, and we're not running into problems like we have in the past with previous, site, people, I don't know what you call them, people doing it. So I think it's fair to, they've owned the error. Again, we're hoping that we never have to touch that, and that the contingency money, and, we have to go from there. We can't just shut down an entire project that Jesus Communities has been waiting for forever, and.
No, and I agree, and I
Yeah.
think that that's something that the community
Yeah, that
wants
would-
to see, is our money being used properly, but that's just,
Yep.
it makes it really nervous, as a community member, to know that now my tax money is being used for something, and then potentially this school district money is also might be used, and it could be
Right.
mismanaged. at the same
They
time.
made a clerical error. Apparently, it sounded like it was in Excel. They've owned it. We do have a satisfaction guarantee at the end. And again, they've asked any questions that we've asked, they've answered honestly. So I think we would go there, but certainly we can have them come back and answer any other questions that the board may have, but that's what I, hope to accomplish last week. Thank you. Anything else, Courtney?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, where are we at? I've forgotten now.
We're moving on to the action item.
Okay.
If there was
Yeah, anybody else
online.
online? Okay, anybody else wishing to address the board in person? Okay, we will move on to action items.
Oh,
Nope, what do I
You
have?
got it late?
Oh, okay, come on in.
Hi. My name's Ashley. I'm a volunteer for the football program, and I was just listening to you guys, and I think that, I just wanted to say, I think it's important that because of that $2 million mistake, if there's something that is going to be cut because of it, I think it's important that there's like full transparency there, and that the public
Absolutely.
is very well aware of what might have to be cut.
Yeah.
Because, we've been promised something, we, know
There will be
what
no
we're
major
supposed to
cuts to
get.
what's
I
the
don't
plan.
I don't know what kind of turf they're putting down. There's supposed to be, there's different levels of turf.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're saying, we're going to get this level of turf, but now we're getting plastic turf because, we need to cut the budget to make up for that $2 million, that's important to know. And also to negotiate with them, I think is really important, because that was a big mistake on their end. And to say, we have to take this $2 million error, when in reality it was your mistake, I think that it's fair to say, like, you guys have to figure something out too.
Yep.
It
and
should
that
just
is
fall
the
on the school
intent.
district.
But again, let's get the project moving, get it done.
Yeah, so knowing
And I
what
don't-
is going to be cut because of that, because I heard at the last board meeting that,
Yeah.
things might have to be cut, because there's only $1 million, like the contingency was only, I think, $1 million.
Yeah,
So
Mike
what
prob-
about the other
Probably
million?
better.
Yeah, but I will say, because we approved 11 million off the bat,
But that still puts us over
This-
0.8, right?
anything we're going over is just contingency. So if everything stays to budget, then we wouldn't ever even touch
it
what's up.
doesn't,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So
yeah.
I know
And
it's
We'll
like-
be transparent about it,
Yeah.
yes. Yep.
And I want to thank you for bringing up the turf, because that was my concern, because I've been researching this.
That from last week with the grass, and I'm surprised we didn't get any, we didn't hear anything about the grass.
No, and I'll tell you, if we go with artificial field turf, which we are, it's made from oil. It's a petroleum byproduct. And we're not the first district, but there's other districts nationwide who are saying, wait a minute now, the price of oil has doubled. Our turf prices are shooting way up, and that was my concern. that they were going to say, okay, oil prices have essentially doubled since the bids were in September. That's a problem, and that's what I was concerned about.
Yeah, now if that happens, I mean, I think grass should be looked into anyways. I think it's healthier for the students. My
So
son
much
plays
more.
and he says 100%, Mom, grass is better. Grass is better. It's better to plan. You have better, traction. It's
Less
better.
injuries,
I'm sorry?
less injuries with the
Less
grass.
injuries, many. He says he slides a lot on the turf. I mean, I know a lot of schools are doing it now, but it's definitely something to look into, grass. So I agree
Thank you.
with you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Oh, we'll move on to action items.
Action item number 1, the THS Athletic Improvement Final Letter of Recommendation. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the THS Athletic Improvement Final Letter of Recommendation with any cost not to exceed $884,000. The original approved 11 million, or am I excluding all of that?
Well, it's just basically, it would be read as written and then added the sentence at the end that says the additional amount is not to exceed
So,
884,000.
with any cost exceeding the original approved 11 million to be funded from the general fund as presented at the last committee of the whole meeting, not to exceed the 884,000.
Correct.
Not the additional amount to exceed the $884,000. Correct, okay. Is there a motion? Motion by Mr. Westfall. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Ms. Moore. Mr. Westfall?
Yes.
Ms. Block?
Yes.
Ms. Fields?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Medarsky?
No.
Mr. Morris is excused. Ms. Shufelt is a yes. That passes 5-1. Number 2 is the Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals for Pathway to Leadership Program fees. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the invoice for Michigan Association of Secondary Schools Principals in the amount of $39,125 for 5 candidates to participate in the MASSP Path to Leadership Program as part of the district's ongoing leadership development efforts through Title II funding. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Moore,
Support.
support by Ms. Fields. Ms. Block?
Yes.
Ms. Fields?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Medarsky?
Yes.
Mr. Morris is excused. Ms. Shufelt is a yes. Mr. Westfall?
Yes.
That passes 5-1, or 6-0, sorry. Number 3 is the Teach ESL endorsement program. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve 10 candidates to participate in the Teach ESL endorsement program in the amount of $46,050 for program participation fees funded through the Section 41 grant funds. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Medarsky. Is there a second?
Best second.
Second by Ms. Moore. Ms. Fields?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Medarsky?
Yes.
Mr. Morris is excused. Ms. Shufelt is a yes. Mr. Westfall?
Yes.
Ms. Block?
Yes.
That passes 6-0. Number 4 is the ceiling bid for West Middle School. It is recommended by the Board of Education to approve the award of bid 2667 to Professional Contracting and Consulting in the amount of $151,900 for the removal and replacement of ceiling and lighting at West Middle School as presented. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Fields. Is there a second?
Yeah, support.
Support by Mr. Westfall. Ms. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Medarsky.
No.
Mr. Morris is excused. Ms. Shufelt is a yes. Mr. Westfall.
Yes.
Ms. Block.
Yes.
Ms. Fields.
Yes.
That passes 5-1. Number 5 is the Digital Age Technology PA system at Moody Elementary. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the bid from Digital Age Technologies in the total amount of $72,279 for the purchase and installation of the new public address PA system at Moody Elementary. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Block. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Medarsky. Mr. Medarsky?
Yeah.
Mr. Morris is excused. Ms. Shufelt is a yes. Mr. Westfall?
Yes.
Ms. Block?
Yes.
Ms. Fields?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
That passes 6-0.
Okay.
Next is the consent agenda. We have the consent agenda, policy number 0166.1, policy 6470, policy 8640, and policy 2304. Minutes from the regular board meeting from April 8th, consolidated items, payment of current bills, certified, non-certified, and administrative report. Out-of-state overnight field trips, out-of-state overnight grant-funded conferences. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Moore. Is there a second? Support. Support by Ms. Fields. Mr. Medarsky.
Yes.
Mr. Morris is excused. Ms. Shufelt is a yes. Mr. Westfall.
Yes.
Ms. Block.
Yes.
Ms. Fields.
Yes.
Ms. Moore.
Yes.
That passes 6-0.
Move on to the superintendent's report.
All right, good evening, everybody. I got a few things I just want to mention briefly. The first, I'm really looking forward to Friday night. The Taylor Public Schools Foundation for Educational Excellence is having their second annual Wall of Fame Gala. And we have one of the honorees who will be joining the Wall of Fame here in attendance tonight, Miss Caroline Patz. But it's going to be a great event where they are going to raise lots of money to help out with our scholarships for our seniors. They help with grants for our teachers. They help with field trips for our students. The foundation does a great many excellent things, and I'm so glad we'll be honoring Miss Patz and among others. But since she's in the audience tonight, I thought I'd throw that out there. So it'll be a great event Friday night at Lakes of Taylor. The next thing I want to mention is kind of updating as we head into another state budget season. I really want to thank our legislators. I know this sounds very crazy from what I was saying last September when I was saying constantly that, oh, get on them, tell them to get this done, this should have been done already. I am amazed that all three budget recommendations have come from the Senate, the House, and the governor's proposal already in April, which makes me very optimistic that they will meet that July 1st deadline. So I wanted to say thank all of our legislators for going and making sure that that work gets done and that they keep on it, because by law, they are supposed to have that state school aid budget set by July 1st, and we want to make sure we have an understanding. It's very difficult for a school district to go ahead and build our budget out for the next year when we don't even know what our inputs are. So sticking to that, what is required by statute, is fantastic. Looks like they're on track to do so. Looks like a lot of agreement between the three, which that's not always the case too. So I think there's some good things, and let's hope that that keeps moving forward the way it has so far. And the last thing I want to mention is I attended this morning the top 10 breakfast for the Downriver League. It's always one of my favorite things. It's always the signal of, oh my God, we're almost at the end of the school year, because we're starting all of our senior celebration events, and this is the first one that kind of kicks it off. And I think probably every year you hear me say the same thing on this day, because it's that time where I go, it's a great time of year. It's a time to celebrate. It's time to enjoy the accomplishments for our seniors. But it's a time to remember you still have a little further to go, seniors. Don't let that senioritis take over and make some poor choices when you're in the home stretch here. So lots of good things for our seniors, lots of great events. One of my favorites coming up will be the parade at Heritage Park. That's always one of my favorites, one of the great things that came out of COVID. But if we want all our kids participating and we want them to be there, you're not quite to the finish line yet. Make sure you cross that finish line before you make some poor choice and jeopardize it. So I always like to put that reminder out when we start into this season. But looking forward to all the celebrations coming, and thank you.
Okay. Items scheduled for next agenda, good news, student representatives, general public comment. Is there anyone wishing to address the board about any topic whatsoever? Anyone in person wishing to address the board? Come on up.
Okay. I'm Lynette Snyder, 7287 Mayfair Street. I sent out an email today just to all of the board members. I've been up here before to be a big advocate for the pool. I know things that are going down. I have talked to Mr. Wagner and Ms. Scope. So I know that there's two things coming out, possible that I found out today, that one might not be, like, they're gonna build a gym over the pool, where the pool's at, and one that possibly to keep the pool. And I am just here to say that I think that we should keep the pool. I think swimming education is very important. We are in Michigan, we are surrounded by water, and I think that should be taught in schools. Not to mention that I put in the email as well, one of my dad's friends died from drowning, and he would have been with them. They didn't know how to swim. He learned how to swim in school. That's why I think it's very important. He made it a point to let us know that it's important. I think it's very important that we keep that. I'm just going to say that. And then also, we have so many gyms. We have so many gyms already. We don't need another gym. Just gonna put that out there. And the gyms that we have, I know that there's junk all over around, like some of them, like, you know, maybe the one in here, like, can we clean that out and have that available? Like, why are we asking for another gym if we have gyms that we can use and they're not being ready for students to use? Because if you give those to the students, say, hey, this is a wrestling gym, this is your gym, they're gonna be proud of that gym. But if you fill it with crap, and then say, oh, this is your spot, like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, there's spots for everybody already. Nothing needs to be taken away. So that's what I'm here fighting for, and I don't think it should. And with the bond, we were supposed to get a new school. We would have never lost the pool because that was going to be kept, and they were going to use it as like a community, blah, blah, blah. And so now we don't get the school. We might lose our pool. I mean, there's just, why are our students losing? And that's all I have to say.
I'd like to say I agree with the pool. One of the people I work with at University of Michigan, her son just got a scholarship, full scholarship for swimming, and I think they're very important. I'm here today because I'd like to address the board about the grounds at the high school. I've met with Mr. Wagner and Ms. Graham already, and I want to thank you for that, for meeting with me about it. But I'd like to ask the board to consider hiring a professional landscaping company this summer, or now's the time to come out and fix the grounds. It's sad. It's really sad. There's trash everywhere. There's broken concrete, broken gates, safety hazards, weeds everywhere. It's, you know, at the football games, you hear other parents at our school, I speak on their behalf, parents from other schools whispering under the breath, this is horrible, this looks disgusting. I understand we were supposed to get a new school, so it might have been put on the back burner. I know that the school is supposed to get a lot of upgrades in the next couple years. But you don't say, like, I'm not going to paint my house because I'm moving in 5 years. You know what I mean? You don't say, I'm not going to plant flowers because in 2 years we're not going to be here. It's really important. It gives our kids, when they pull up to the school, standards. What they see, how they feel when they walk into the school, when they're walking in and they see broken concrete and a trash bag hanging on the tree and vapes in the parking lot and broken gates, and it just looks like junk. It's embarrassing. It's sad. I've seen a little bit done over the last week. I drive by a lot, take pictures a lot. You know, there's been a pile of mulch sitting on the side of the school for I don't know how long. I'm not saying it's a problem with the mulch. I'm saying it's the problem that it hasn't been laid down yet. It needs weed block. It needs weeds pulled, weed block. We need nice mulch laid. We need it to look good because our kids deserve it, and it's very important. And all the other schools in the district, I understand we're getting a new athletic field, but to, you know, in September, you know, when we have our first game and you pull up to this great athletic field and outside of the school looks like junk. It's embarrassing. And please, I am begging the board on behalf of every parent I have talked to at the school to hire a landscaping company to come out and fix it.
And I do want to say, since our meeting, I did have conversations with our operations department. They are already going around and starting to
I've
take out
noticed
the
a few
gate.
things, and I
Well,
appreciate
the
that.
gates are, because that was a big concern, I know, and that was a
I
big
said,
concern of
okay,
mine.
that was
so,
quick. That
yeah,
was quick too.
They're
Within
moving.
a few days, I saw a few things. I saw the exercise equipment was thrown away, and I saw a little bit of the mulch laid, but on top of that, like we discussed, we need professionals out there. So just, a little bit at a time is great, but we need a professional to come out there and really do something to it, because it's that bad. It's beyond, what we can do and what maintenance can do. It's a D1 school, it's the only high school in Taylor now. It's important. So, yeah, please.
I couldn't agree more, but
thank you.
But I also believe that our coaches need to have some responsibility in making their teams pick up whatever they've got laying.
100%, yeah,
And
if that's a
not-
problem,
The
they need to be
coaches
held
need to be
accountable.
responsible for shutting gates at night and not leaving it for someone else. So we all should share responsibility in how that building looks and the grounds.
100%, but I don't think it's the sports team's fault for how it looks right now. It's neglect.
It's 100%, it didn't just happen overnight
Right.
or like at baseball practice or soccer, like
But everybody
today.
needs to get a
Yes.
hand in it.
We need to take pride, and I know that we're about to start construction, and so you don't want to put too much money into something that you might bulldoze or whatever, but with what we do have currently, we can maintain and make it look nice
Yes.
for the time
I mean, I
being and
understand
keep
the
it that
back
way.
of the
Like,
school
don't
is
just,
under
yeah.
construction, but I'm talking about like when you pull up to the school, it's sad, it's embarrassing, it's gloom, it needs help, it needs our attention.
Yeah, do we have kids that would like to work with, somebody that's very knowledgeable about that and get out there and?
Yeah, I mean, one of our coaches has a landscaping company. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, they'd be
Even
more
if
than
we do
happy.
it one
Coach
time,
Miles,
what's the
I
point of
believe, is a
keeping
track
up on
coach,
it?
has
Yeah.
So does one
a,
of the board members, he
Yeah.
could volunteer.
You're not wrong, that's all I have to say. You're
yes,
100%
please.
been like that for
If we
years.
could have a company come out and do something with it this summer so that, next year when the kids pull up, they're proud. It's the school pride, right now they're like,
Yep,
you know?
thank you.
Yeah, like
I
you
mean,
could
I'm
quickly
stepping on
turn
faith
around,
when I'm
like
getting
you
out of
said,
the car
like
that.
quickly, you got some things picked up, but we can't pick those things up quickly and then turn around and put more stuff in its place. We have to now maintain it
Right.
and keep up on it.
Well,
Yeah,
we're not
and
the
that's the
ones putting it
trash that
there,
we're
so.
talking about, the things that are thrown on the ground, and I believe we do have maintenance people hired that should be out there doing it. They need to be held accountable for what they're doing when they're clocked in.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about things that need professional work, like the landscaping, the weeds pulled, the weed block laid, mulch put down, plants planted, things planted.
Yeah.
Curbs fixed, potholes, I mean, they can be filled, some of them. I'm not saying to do.
I've
a
been
whole
complaining
parking
about that
lot.
for years, that parking lot.
I know, like, I understand if we can't do the whole parking lot right now, but I mean, one of those potholes is like
deep.
this deep, and it's just,
Definitely
it's
knock it out.
bad. It's really, really, it looks like a prison.
Yeah,
It looks like a
I don't
prison.
disagree. I think we should make the landscaping one of our CTE courses too.
Yeah, that would,
So at some
100%,
point, yeah,
that's a
those
great
people
idea.
like to do that. Thank you.
Planting of stuff with, at an elementary school.
Yeah.
That might be something that even if you brought that to the National Honor Society, they might be
Yeah.
able to do something with it.
Yeah, like,
But
have
getting
be
it to the point to
professional
where,
help.
that's a maintained thing. Like, we can have them to maintain it. Like, having them come out now would be like,
Yep.
community service. If you were on probation, it's that bad. You know what I mean? That's like punishment, having them go out and do it now. We need a company to come out and do something about it now. We need professionals, to come out and
Thank you.
get us to that level.
Yep.
To where we can maintain
it.
it,
Right, we
take
can
pride in
maintain
it,
it. You're
and
right.
have these groups come out and maintain it and plant flowers,
Yeah.
So yes, I
Thank
speak
you.
on behalf of every parent I've ever talked to. And I talk to a lot of
Yep.
parents.
Yep, as a
So.
parent too. Yep, I know.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else wishing to address the board? Oh, go right ahead.
Rich Pratt, 24403 Hayes. Two things. One, another support for the pool. And I find it interesting how you can find more out of the bar than you can from the school board about
What
what's
is
going
it
on.
true?
It's pretty sad, actually, that I can find more information talking to people than I can on the website. The second, not that the high school needs help, Johnson, this week when it was flooded, it was beautiful because all those potholes got filled. So you couldn't see them when you're driving through. The people there don't want to go to work.
Yep.
They're afraid to risk their cars. And I know, I have no idea because it's not on the website, if there's still a plan to do something moving Johnson, but it seems like everything is stopped until we make a decision, but we're not making.
So I can give you an update. We have grant money that's been set aside specifically for Moody and Johnson's parking lots, that it's been dedicated to that. We have been meeting with engineering company and an architecture firm. They're putting together the bid documents right now so we can put it out to bid and start it this summer. Like, it would be as much as we can replace under what the stormwater rules are, and the rest would be mill and cap. So the worst parts fully replace, and then other parts would be milled and capped. But we're in the process of doing all that design. We'll be putting it on the website once we have a little more information of how that actual plan looks and what gets bid
My
out.
wife will be
So-
glad to
Oh,
hear
yeah, but it is proceeding. I know Jack and Patrick were just at meetings about this with the engineers this week to get that rolling, so.
Okay, thank you.
And that is posted on our website somewhere. You might have to dig for it under bond stuff.
It may not be
Oh,
yet,
okay.
but it's something that once we have that, that's stuff that
Okay,
we start to
okay.
update that, so.
Yeah, I've never looked at the website in terms of the bond section, but thought maybe that might be something.
Yep.
But anyway.
Yeah, it's not bond money for it, though.
Right,
That's the
right,
difference.
right.
And regarding what Mr. Pratt said, this has been an objective of mine, transparency. So a lot of what you're asking for comes in our backups, okay? And most elected bodies, including the Taylor City Council, put the backups online. I've been fighting to get the backups online to no avail. So maybe I'll bring a motion next meeting, but yes, there's no reason we can't put the backups online so the residents know what we're voting on and what it costs. There's no logical reason not to do it. There is none.
Okay, what are you saying we don't have online?
The stuff, the materials you get as backups in
Oh,
your
okay,
packets.
gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Go ahead, Caroline.
Put Justin in charge.
Pardon me?
Why don't you take charge of it and be responsible for putting everything online that you think needs to be?
Well, it would just simply be taking the PDF files we get and attaching them to the website exactly how the Taylor City Council does, or Troy, or Ann Arbor. Like, there's probably 1,000 examples. So yeah, I will take charge of writing a resolution to do that. And I will base it on any other public institution that does it. So, yeah, thank you for
Caroline,
asking me to do it.
6860 Jackson.
Thank
I
you.
think this is my time now.
Yes, it is your time.
Sorry. So I agree also with the pool. That is a crazy thing to me to get rid of a pool when we have no other pool. I know we have Hoover's pool, but that's not, what do you call it, not collegiate, but I mean, to have
Yeah,
competitions
regulation,
and stuff there,
yeah.
you can't have that.
Not
right?
high school regulated
Could-
competitive pool.
Yeah. And I just, if you keep the pool, or when you keep the pool, I'm going to go that way, when you keep the pool, can't you do like in the past when Taylor Center had a pool? They opened it up to the community, had, seniors come in at certain times. I know Woodhaven opens it up to their residents. I don't know if it's non-residents, but they open that up and their track and everything to, not, to their residents. And, that would give us extra money coming in possibly. I know you probably have to get lifeguards, there's more to it than just that, but that's just an idea. I really can't see, and I agree that we do need more space for our athletics, for the basketballs and things like that, because I know you said there is a lot of gyms, but, there is a lot of space that is not being, or can't be used. Even though way back in the 70s, and I'll go quote a 1977 graduate saying, we had wrestling, we had this, we had that, and it was just one school at that time. Plus, it was a junior high attached to it. So,
It's a
I'm sure we
scheduling
can,
issue too, Caroline.
pardon,
I believe it's a scheduling issue as well.
scheduling, yeah.
That's what I.
Because
My
back then
other
they had
area
more
is small.
students too, so, but anyways, I still believe that we should keep the pool. That's my opinion.
Bless you.
I just wanted to mention that I actually, when I taught at Myers Elementary, the principal over there did purchase every year she bought all of the landscaping stuff. And our elementary school students absolutely loved it. Like, it was one of their favorite projects every year was to landscape and decorate it. And the amount of parents that actually came up to support us as well. So just for keeping that in mind, I just wanted to bring that up, that like, if you even reach out to the community and parents, like, we go clean up Heritage Park once a year every time. I mean, there's a community full of people that probably come help clean up that stuff. I know that it's not professional. I mean, yes, getting it to the point of being able to, that is great, but that is something that I think is huge. And my daughter, just as a thought process yesterday, she was out picking the grass at her school and the playground. And then she had asked when we got home if we could take the mower up there and mow it because we could walk there. It was mowed today, so that's not an issue. But yeah, she was like super excited to mow it and
Yep.
she wanted to go do it. So I think that's something that we miss a lot of is like our kids can get involved. The CTE option is great, having that as an option for kids and keeping landscaping as something that they can do. But I just want to bring that up, like that's something that.
Thank you. I know that Rhonda, when she was on the board, had a big space a space in her heart for Kenyon. And
Yeah,
that she
Kenyon
did a
has a
lot of
beautiful
work.
butterfly
Yeah.
garden, and there's still teachers there that keep that one up all the
Yep,
time.
yep.
And my daughter goes up there in the summer, and we pick all the weeds out of it when there's nobody up there. So like, Kenyon does a phenomenal job with it, but
Yep.
it's not all the schools.
You're right.
And I know that that's a huge, elementary kids love doing that.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants me around a plant because it won't be alive very long.
I don't have a green thumb.
Mine are all dead by July 1st, usually. Okay, anyone else? Anyone online? Then we shall move on to board member comments. Anyone?
I have something, just a quick touch on the pool situation. Just so everybody is clear, like this has not been something that's been discussed. It hasn't been brought to us. In my opinion, these are rumors that are spreading through the community that we're not going to have a pool. So that is not something that has been discussed with us, and it will apparently, from what I hear, be coming to us in May-ish. But until then, like there's no will to get rid of the pool. I'm a fan of the pool. My kid was a swimmer. But I also wanted to just touch on, yes, there are a lot of other areas in the district to use and utilize gyms. The problem is security-wise. We've allowed other athletes and sports teams to go to different buildings. The problem with that is there's been some incidences where we have had people trying to get into those buildings. Students are scared. We don't have staff to secure those areas. So currently, our high school students are struggling scheduling-wise to get enough gym. I am not a fan of getting rid of the pool. I want to keep the pool and find a way to still have another gym. I've expressed that to the superintendent multiple times.
I'm sick of athletics.
What?
I'm sick of
I
athletics.
know, but we have a lot of athletes, and I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We keep adding sports to our district, and we don't have anywhere to put them. Like boys want to play volleyball. We can't have a boys volleyball team because we don't have anywhere for them to practice volleyball in the springtime. So, we're also not giving our kids what they should have. They should have a volleyball team. They should have all of these things. I'm not a fan for taking away. I want to give them more.
Well,
We
have
need to give more
gymnastics.
and more and more.
Good.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can't do that
gymnastics.
because we don't have that ability. So, just so our community is aware, like the Board of Education has not made or been spoken to about removal of a pool. So,
Thank you, Stephanie, for being very succinct about that. And I have some pretty strong opinions with regard to, the pool as well. I think kids need to learn how to swim, otherwise you're going to drown. Anyway, very well said, Stephanie. Thank you.
So I want to speak on the pool as well. I am a big supporter of the pool. I am what you call a hard vote to save the pool. So, yeah, apparently there are some people in district who want to get rid of the pool. They'll bring some numbers to a meeting. As a lot of the numbers we get, I'm sure will be inaccurate or misleading, and that's okay. I'll deal with that when it comes. But yes, under no circumstances will I vote to get rid of the pool. So you only need 4 votes to save it. You got 1. Now you just got to get 3 more. So I'm giving you my word on that. I am voting to keep the pool no matter what. I also agree with her on the grounds. It never should have gotten this bad. This is a landscaping issue. I just couldn't agree more. And why I voted no on the roof at the middle school, of course I want a roof at the middle school, but I'm starting to see some questionable bidding practices going back to other things. And then when I see one bid coming up, I'm a little concerned, and I wanted to see what's called the RFQ. That's basically what says who's allowed to bid and who's not. And they said, well, you can look at it later, but I'm not going to vote on it until I see that. So I do want to go for the middle school. And that's weird. And yeah, I do really want to do a deep dive into the bidding process, because when I looked at the bidding process for the athletic field, it was really strange how we got certain line items where there was only one bidder. So are we not advertising it right? Are we putting in things in the RFQ that drive away bidders? But I was expecting 10 bidders for a line item, and I was getting a sole bidder. And I didn't like that. And I didn't like a sole bidder for a ceiling for a middle school. You'll get a sole bidder for specialty things. Like I just know in Oakland County, they were buying these drones, and there was only one person that made the drones, so that's who they went with. But for a ceiling, I expected 5 or 6 bids, so that's why I voted no. Thank you.
Anyone else on the board? Okay, then,
Moving
adjournment
on
closed
to
session.
adjournment to closed session pursuant to the Michigan Open Meeting Act, Public Act 2267 of 1976, as amended, I move the Board of Education to convene in closed session to consider materials exempt from public disclosure under Section 8C, 8H of the Act. Is there a motion? Motion by Ms. Fields. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Westfall.
As always, can you read for the public what the act is instead of just,
Negotiations and materials exempt from disclosure by state and federal statute.
thank you.
Mr. Morris is excused. Ms. Schufelt is a yes. Mr. Westfall?
Yes.
Ms. Block?
Yes.
Ms. Fields?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Medarsky?
Yes.
That passes 6-0.
Move into closed session at 6:56. We are returning from closed session at 8:14. There's no action after closed session, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Stephanie Schufelt. Is there support?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mordarski. Schufelt.
Yes.
Westfall.
Yes.
Block.
Yes.
Fields.
Yes.
Moore is a yes. Mordarski.
Yes.
And Morris is excused. It passes 6-0. We are adjourned at 8:14.
Have a great night.